I'd like to welcome you all to LPB's Bright by Text informational webinar. We appreciate you joining us this morning. We know your time is precious, and I promise to be as quick as possible so we don't take a bunch of your time. I just wanted to introduce some staff that we have on the call. We have Melissa Tolson. Melissa, yeah. Melissa is our Bright by Text guru, and she'll be talking at some point in the webinar. And also we have Cherie Clark, who is my colleague at LPB in the Education Department. And I am Nancy Touraine, the Education Manager at LPB. I did type my information in the chat box in case you need to reach me. And I know you all have gotten an email from me at some point. So please feel free to reach out if you have any questions after the webinar. Just a little bit of housekeeping. We are recording this webinar, so we'll be posting a recording of it on our webpage. You don't have to write anything down during the webinar. I'll be sure to send a follow-up email with important links and everything that we talk about. So just relax. Enjoy, listen, and if you have any questions, type them in the chat box and Melissa will be monitoring the chat box. Or if you just want to unmute and talk, that's fine with me too. We don't have a whole bunch of people on the call. So right now I have everybody muted, but if you'd like to talk, just please unmute yourself and let's hear from you. All right, so let's get started. I'm going to share my screen real quick. Okay, can everybody see my screen? You can just, yeah, so people are nodding, I see. Thank you. Cynthia raised her hand, thank you. Okay, so what is Bright by Text? So Bright by Text is a free program for parents of children ages prenatal to age 8. And so when a parent signs up to get Bright by Text messages, they have to put in the child's birth date. So every message that a parent receives for a particular child is developmentally appropriate. And the messages have to do with all kinds of subject areas to help parents be better parents. And that's the end goal of Bright by Text, is to help parents feel more confident about parenting. So they get these messages on their cell phone pretty much every day, at least a message every day. And they're for parents, for caregivers. It could be for grandparents raising grandchildren. So each text message has a little short message with a landing page. So there's something that they can click on for more information. Melissa, do you want to talk about the impact that the Bright by Text messages have been having on Louisiana?
Absolutely. Can everybody hear me okay? Excuse me, I'm a little stopped up this morning. So as of today, in Louisiana, we have 1,119 active accounts, which means we have about 1,400 active children who are receiving the goods, the services from these messages. Since the COVID pandemic, we've actually had like 256 families to sign up. Now, that is not with us going out in the public. This is people seeing what an impact we're making throughout the state. I want to share with you right now some of the messages that we have been sending out. One of the really great things, and I'm proud that we've been able to do, is we've worked with East Baton Rouge Parish Early Childhood Network and the Natchitoches Early Childhood Network to put out when children can register for their preschool. So that's very important. When the pandemic first started, we put out messages how to sign up for your EBT benefits and the cards. We put out messages where parents could go and get free Wi-Fi access. This is throughout the state by pulling into library locations. We've also, when this started, we put out a map of Louisiana, all the school districts where parents could go and receive the meals. So you can see from that aspect how we're really making a difference in getting messages out. Since then, we've also had hurricane preparedness tips, fire ants tips, things around Baton Rouge that families can do for free, like a backyard safari that was in the Advocate recently. The Hilltop Arboretum, LSU, where parents could enjoy the wildflowers with their children. We all know that we need to get outside. And by the way, these are all free things the events that parents can go to. We've also put out lots of programs that the East Baton Rouge Parish Library has been sending out for bedtime stories, activities, crafts, all these things that can continue with the distance learning that we have going on. We've put out the East Baton Rouge Early Childhood Network. We were able to send out to the families a free access to their early childhood network curriculum called Footsteps to Brilliance. We've put out a hotline where parents can go just to talk if they're feeling, depressed or stressed, or the kids are acting out, through the Tulane mental health phone service. And most importantly, we've been partnering with the Louisiana Department of Education. And so we've been sending out things to keep that distance learning going and moving. We are averaging, like Nancy said, about a text message a day. It is all stuff that is truly impacting these families throughout this. If I can have just one more minute, Nancy, I wanted to talk a little bit about the national survey. Now, this all came out before the pandemic, of course, but the survey that these parents have answered said that, and caregivers, that 95% of all the people who completed the survey are feeling more confident about their child's development, about the things that they do with their children and their families. They're trying new learning activities. 77% are actually reporting that they're playing more with their families. We know that's important during this time. 63% are actually picking up and reading to their children. 34% are feeling more confident on asking what kind of questions they should ask their healthcare providers. And I'm sorry, our last percentage, 31%, are actually attending all these free events that we put out there. So you can see just from our statistics and what we put out, how much we are, really making a difference, and we would love to help.
Thank you, Melissa. I don't know if everyone noticed, but I do have a screen up, a few screens that show examples of Bright by Text messages that have gone out recently. So I'll just breeze through them just to give you an idea of what they look like. So this was April 28th. So this is about going to get your child's well checkup, that we still need to continue to do that. Here's some examples of some text. Every child develops at their own pace. The age range for some new skills can vary, and you can learn more. So parents click and they learn more about things that their child should be doing. Here's a fun one about getting outdoors and doing some PE activity outside. So that was another text that parents got. This is the one about the drive-up Wi-Fi locations that Melissa told you about at all Baton Rouge public libraries. Another one about children going to bed with bottles, which is a no-no unless it's water. Here's one about the SNAP benefits and how they can click and apply. I wanted to show you an example. So what do an apple and fire truck have in common? And they're both red. And so this activity talks about teaching your children more about matching colors and objects. And by the way, my fake child, I don't really have a young child, but my fake child is 2 years old. And so every message that I get on my phone is developmentally appropriate for a 2-year-old. So, which matching colors and objects is important for 2-year-olds. So when you click on the link that you see there, it comes up to a landing page, and it's actually a little video that you can watch that teaches a parent how to help your child sort and look at colors and shapes. So just really great information. Just some more samples about the pandemic EBT card that's available, and parents can click right on the link to go see if they're eligible. Teaching your child to recognize objects when it's covered, that's something for a 2-year-old. We also have the LGOE just came out with their safe steps for reopening child care centers, which I'm sure you all have already seen and are starting to plan for. But we did send that out to parents. Here's an example of another landing page. So remember the text about the peekaboo with the toys, about hiding an object and having children try to recognize the object when it's covered. And this is also a video that can be watched. And so those are all the samples of Write by Text messages. Do we have any more questions before we move on? Melissa, we're okay in the chat?
Yes, we're great.
Okay, good. All right, so how do parents and you sign up to receive Write by Text messages? Because none of these messages do us any good if we don't have parents signed up. And as Melissa said, we have over, is it 1,300?
Yes.
1,300 children signed up around the state. Of course, we need more. We are able to tell how many children are signed up by zip code and parish, which is really important. That's how Baton Rouge people get Baton Rouge text, and how statewide families get texts about statewide information. So the beauty about that is we're able to target a specific zip code and a specific age group. So not every message that we send out is for everybody. Some of them are very targeted for a specific group, which is incredible. And I'll talk about that more later if you're interested in targeting messages to a particular group. So signing up parents, very easy. It's important for us to get as many parents signed up so that they can start receiving the parenting messages. So to sign up, I am on LPV's Write by Text webpage, which is lpv.org/BBT. You don't have to write that down. I will send that in an email. Notice this green sign up button. Let me get my little pointer here, just a second. Okay, everyone see the green sign up button? We're gonna click on sign up.
Yeah.
I think somebody's unmuted, if you wouldn't mind muting. So all parents have to do is put in their cell phone number, their zip code, whether they want the message in Spanish or English, so they do come out in Spanish as well, and what your child's expected due date is, if this is prenatal, or your child's birthday. And this is all they have to do to sign up. And once they fill in out this information, they will start receiving the Write by Text messages. So that's one way to sign up parents. The other way that we used to sign up parents before COVID was at community events, and LPB would physically go around the state to community events and actually manually sign up families to receive the messages. This was a very effective way. It allowed us to have a personal relationship with parents and to really talk to them about the Bright by Text program. Unfortunately, we are not able to do that. So the best way right now is really to sign up online. The third way to sign up is actually texting LPB to 27448. And you'll see in this video, which is really cute, by the way. If you have time, I encourage you to go watch it. But when parents text LPB to 27448, they have to take another step. So they receive a message from Bright by Text, and they have to respond back, the age of the child, their zip code, and if they want English, Spanish. A lot of families do not take that second step to actually start receiving the messages. So we kind of discourage people signing up through their phone, texting LPB to 27448, but you can sign up that way. Any questions so far about signing up parents? We're good? There are, just to give you some ideas of how to start getting the word out about Bright by Text to help sign up families. One is a direct email to your families at your centers. Or if you do a newsletter, that's also a way to get messages out to parents. So this is a great resource that you can provide and let your parents know in your centers so they can start receiving the messages. Also, if you have a social media account for your center, I will send in my follow-up email a sample Facebook post that you're welcome to use to put on your Facebook pages so you can encourage families to sign up. So we've talked about signing up families, which is important. And the second piece I want to talk to you about is becoming a community partner. And I'm going to scroll down on our webpage just a little bit to the community partner section. And the reason why our community partners are so important is, one, you all have fabulous things going on that families need to know about. Registration for your programs, free events that are happening in your communities, food drives or food pickups for families in your area. So the more community partners that LPB has, the more coverage we have and the more diverse messages that we're able to send to specific areas. So we need you, we need your help, we need your help to sign up families, and we need your help to become a community partner and help submit messages that you want your families to receive and you think are important. So you can see we have a nice group of community partners that do send in messages and are sending messages to their communities. And so if you want to become a community member, all you have to do is click on the yellow Become a Community Partner. And I gotta, that didn't do right because my computer's not set up here for email. It actually sends an email to all of our Bright by Text team at LPB, most of which you are seeing on your screen on the call, and we will reach out to you. But it's very simple. There's nothing you really have to do other than provide me with a logo and your web address so we can make sure we list you here on our partners. And if you scroll down further, if you want to submit a message, you just click on the blue Submit Message, and it will pull up a short form that you'll need to fill out to help us craft your message. So basically, this form is just information about your organization, who you are, what would you like us to submit, what's the landing page. So there must be a web address for parents to click on after the short message. You have to remember that the message can only be 140 characters, so it's really short, and you have to have high impact language so that parents are interested. And LPV certainly can help you with that. We just need to know the basic information, and we can dress it up and make it real interesting so parents will click on it. We need to know what age level the message is for. It may not be for all age groups. And we also need to know what area you want to send it to. So is it a particular zip code? Is it your whole parish? So we can break it down by age, zip code, and parish. We need to know when you want to send it. We ask that you give us about 2 weeks before you actually want the message to go out, so we have time to craft the message, and that we actually, all messages sent through Bright by Text are vetted by the National Bright by Text, and they also translate all of our messages into Spanish for us. So they need a little lead time to check all that out, make sure all the links work. So when that message goes out, about 4 sets of eyes have actually looked over the message and made sure everything is correct. Once the messages go out, we're able to see the click-through rate. So we'll see how many parents actually clicked through on the link to the landing page. We have had really great success with click-through rates. Anything over, which this sounds crazy, but like 5% or 7% is a good click-through rate. And we've been averaging probably about 8 to 12% on our click-through rate. So it's been very effective. Any questions about becoming a community partner or submitting a message?
No question.
No questions. Wow. Okay. I'm going to close that out and go back to our page. For those of you, when we're able to start opening up, and I'm not exactly sure when that's going to be, I know everybody is very anxious about knowing what the future holds and what the fall is going to be like in opening up. I know child care centers have already been opening up. And so if you do have limited events or parent meetings at your centers, you can manually sign up your families. And so this sign-up sheet is actually the sheet that we use at community events. And we just get parents to fill out the sheet, and they have to have a signature to give us permission, and we manually put them in the system. And if you want to use this sheet, you are welcome. You can just fax it over to us or email it to us, and we'll handle it all. You don't have to worry about inputting all the children. But that is an option if you feel like you need it. Just a few additional resources to show you. I'm going to show you our at-home learning page. I don't know if any of you are familiar with this. This is our page we developed in March to help families with distance learning and children who may not have the resources at home to connect to the internet. And so I don't know if any of you know that LPB has been broadcasting educational programming every day on our main channel from 5 a.m. to 5 p.m. So at least children who don't have internet and computers can actually turn on their TV to LPB's channel and watch educational programming to help them get through until schools open back up. So this page has a ton of resources. You'll see that we've started our Super Summer Learning page. And so this page is in development, and there's all kind of great resources here for families to do during the summer. These 50 summer crafts for learning are awesome for our early childhood folks. These are fun activities for families to do together. So that's our summer learning page. I noticed this is the page where we had all the resources like the school meal sites from the DOE, and we will continue to have all this information up. If you scroll down, you'll see that Bright by Text is on this page as well. So you can get to LPB's Bright by Text right here. For the littles, all of these resources are fabulous. PBS Parents has a newsletter that they're sending out daily during the coronavirus, and with great information for families. Right here we have a digital education library of media. It is free. It's available for pre-K through 12. You can get a free account. Teachers are using this. They're searching for videos, for lessons, for interactive lessons. Lots of great information that parents can use. I'm actually doing a webinar on how to use learning media on June 4th, I believe. It's up here. Yes, June 4th at 10 a.m. So if anybody wants to register for that webinar and learn how to use PBS Learning Media, I welcome you to register and attend. And then if you scroll down, we've got some more resources, particularly for the ages 2 to 8. Especially these PBS Kids apps. They're all free. Kids can download these on their devices. Every game is educational and teaches kids some skill, as well as the games. All of these are all educational. The other resource I wanted to let you know about are LPB's newsletters that go out once a month. So our newsletter will be going out in June. It's emailed, but you can also click on newsletters here from the AtHome Learning page. And we have one for teachers, and we also have one for parents. I've already done the one for teachers for June, and I always include all grade levels. So just really great information. And the one for parents is mostly for young children. And so this is what the newsletter looks like. And it just lets them know about all kind of great things that are coming up for the month. And this weekly top 5 picks, we've actually been very excited about this. We've partnered with the Advocate across the state. And every Monday they publish LPB's top 5 picks. And it's by grade level bands. And so we pick one resource for each grade level band and one for teachers. And it's been really successful, really great resources there for families to use. So those are our newsletters. And if you want to subscribe to any of the newsletters, you just simply click here to subscribe and fill out the information. This is also a great resource to share with your parents, to ask them to sign up for LPB's parent newsletter so they can get all kinds of great resources and information, and it's just once a month. We also have a Raising Readers Facebook page, and you can actually get to that from the parent newsletter. And the nice thing about the Facebook page is it's daily information that parents can get. So instead of the monthly newsletter, we try to post something every day, just really cool information. Like yesterday, you all know that SpaceX was supposed to launch into space yesterday, and I was so excited about watching that. And of course, the weather did not cooperate, and so it's going to be Saturday. But I shared that on all LPB's Facebook pages because I just think that is a fascinating thing for children of any age. All of us should be watching that. So just things that are coming up that's timely. The Facebook page is a great way to stay connected to things that are happening right now. Story times. PBS Kids has story times. Every Monday, Michelle Obama reads a live story to children, I think at 11 Central Time. But we post all of this on the Raising Readers Facebook page so that families can know that all these wonderful things are going on. Does anybody have any questions? Boy, this is a quiet group. I'm used to talking. I'd like other people to talk. I pretty much don't have any more information for you. I know this is information overload, and which is why I'm going to send you a follow-up email so you don't have to remember any of this. Just know that we're all from LPB here to help. If you want to become a community partner, please reach out. We're happy to help you get parents signed up. We're happy to help you with local messaging, to target families in your areas. If you don't want to talk to me, could you please in the chat just give me some feedback? Let me know if this sounds like something that you might be interested in, or if you know of any families that already subscribe to Bright by Text and you have some feedback, please post it in the chat. I'd love to hear from you. And also you can follow up with an email as well. I'd love to hear back from you. So if nobody has any questions, we're pretty much done. And I know I've taken up 32 minutes of your time, and we do appreciate it. We appreciate you being on the call, and we hope you find this information useful. Melissa, you have anything else?
No, I'm looking in the chat box, and I see where one of the people who are attending today said that their daughter signed up for it and the granddaughter is involved and they love it. So that's great. It is awesome. It is super. It is super.
Awesome. Thank you for the feedback. Okay, guys. Well, thanks so much and have a wonderful day. And hopefully we'll be talking to you soon. Take care, everyone.